because we thought it was extremely important that we look at the total reality of this situation. Last night, the St. Petersburg police announced the, quote, surrender of an African youth, barely 16 years old, in the murder of a policeman in the city on February 22nd. In violation with their long-standing policy, the police released the young person's name and showed his picture on TV. Instead of examining the reasons why a young teenager would take such an action, the police and the city of St. Petersburg have worked to demonize this young man and the whole African community in a city and a country that has already criminalized African people as threats to U.S. white society. And we can see that when anything happens, any crisis comes up in the African community, the U.S. government or the city government sends tanks onto the streets. The people are treated as a criminal or enemy population.
Well, that's not a dead white man over there.
We have, you can wait your turn, we have to look at the reality that this is a teenager from a deeply impoverished African community growing up in a city that we can see this is not the stand that we want white people to take, because we have to look at the reality that this young man grew up seeing the police murders of many unarmed young African teenagers, teenage men in this city. This is a man who faced a bleak future in a community without jobs or economic development, with a mere 21% graduation rate for black males and 50% unemployment rates for African youth. The fact is, 75% of black men in this country will be arrested and jailed before the age of 36, and black men are arrested 6 times more than white men are in this country as a whole. And that this is a young man who grew up in a community that the mayor and the city government invested millions of dollars in order to gentrify the black community, moving in white people as homeowners and investors while dispersing an already impoverished and destabilized black community. We are standing in front of what had been a command central until apparently late last night, here on 1st Avenue South in St. Petersburg. It was a full-blown military staging ground. The city of St. Petersburg could have invaded a small country. And it's really clear that it was about a war against the black community. We saw tanks, trucks, armored vehicles, tents involving hundreds of police forces, machine gun-toting SWAT teams, and other militarized forces. This was not set up to arrest somebody. It was set up to terrorize the entire African community and put them under military occupation.